Welcome to Mixtape Videos. Over the past few weeks, we've let our viewers vote on who they thought were the most overrated players in NBA history. The results are in, so let's see what the viewers said. By the way, we can't stress enough that these are the viewer rankings, not our rankings. So while we'll try to present arguments as to why each player is overrated, we can't say that we necessarily agree with the votes, though we do agree for most of them. Okay, let's get started. Number 10, Steve Francis. Known as Steve Franchise, Francis created a lot of hype during his NBA career, and for good reason. He made all the best highlight reel plays, crossing up defenders and dunking ferociously. During his best season, he averaged about 21 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 steal. However, he shot below 42% from the field and only 32% from the three-point line. That season, the Rockets were 28-54, were 20th in offensive rating, and dead last in defensive rating. In his time with Houston, they made the playoffs just once, and were nearly swept out of the first round in that series. He was known to be a selfish player who couldn't shoot, pass, or make good decisions. His bad attitude led to his being traded several times, cut a few times, and eventually just fading out. Number 9, Alonzo Mourning. A legend in Miami, Alonzo Mourning is usually the only player New Age bandwagon Heat fans can name outside of Dwayne Wade. Whether or not you view him as overrated, it really depends on which part of his career you look at. His first 8 seasons in the league, Zoe consistently averaged around 20 points and 10 rebounds to go along with 3 to 4 blocks per game. The last 7 years of his career, however, he averaged around 7 or 8 points and 5 to 6 rebounds per game. So, I guess if you were a younger fan and always heard about the legend of Alonzo Mourning and then saw him average 8 points and 5 rebounds, you'd probably think he was overrated. Hey, I said we would try to present arguments as to why each player is overrated, but we don't have to like it. Number 8, Baron Davis. If you take a quick look at Baron Davis' numbers, you may think, hey, nearly 10 years averaging 20 points, 8 assists, and 2 steals. I'll take that. But a closer look will show you that he also averaged 3 turnovers, barely shot 71% from the free throw line as a guard, and shot below 41% from the floor for his career. He had several seasons where he didn't even reach 40%. That's Allen Iverson bad. On top of that, he shot only 32% from the three-point line. Now you may think, well, 32%, okay, he just wasn't a good three-point shooter. Nothing wrong with that. True, but the problem is that despite shooting only 32% on threes, he shot 5 threes per game and had several seasons where he shot 7 or 8 threes a game. Davis had some incredible highlights, but those really just hide the truth. He simply wasn't a very good NBA player. Number 7, Stephon Marbury. At this point, you're probably noticing a trend. Guards who score a lot but inefficiently and who are bad teammates. Stephon Marbury averaged about 20 points per game but on 43% shooting. Like Baron Davis, he was also a bad three-point shooter and shot far too many considering his struggles in that department. On top of that, he had a huge ego and was known not just as a coach killer but a team killer as well. It got so bad for Marbury in New York that the team, not being able to trade him, simply dismissed him. At this point, probably everyone knows the real Stephon Marbury and no one would overrate him, but there was a time when some said he was the best point guard in the league and gave him contracts paying out $20 million a year. Number 6, Derrick Fisher. An 18-year veteran of the NBA, Derrick Fisher hit some big shots and won a lot of rings. The way people talk about him, you'd think he was Magic Johnson out there, running the Lakers' offense to perfection. It's true, Fisher wasn't really bad at anything. He made few mistakes and made the shots he needed to make. But with career averages of 8 points, 3 assists, and 1 steal, it's hard to say he was crucial to anything the Lakers did. He was always calm and collected and showed up when he needed to, but come on, Kobe and Shaq would probably won those rings even without Fisher's 8 amazing points. Look at it this way, if he didn't play for the Lakers, would people even talk about him? Probably not. Number 5, Kevin Garnett. If you're a longtime subscriber to the channel, or if you got really bored one day and watched all of our videos, and I mean really bored, then you probably know that we agree with this one. Kevin Garnett is overrated. Most fans and analysts rank him as one of the top 3 power forwards of all time. Some even say 1 or 2, which is just ridiculous. Yes, he's passionate and an emotional leader, but what did he lead his team to? He and the Timberwolves were eliminated from the first round of the playoffs 6 years in a row. It's funny, people bash Derrick for supposedly not making any deep playoff runs when that's actually what happened to Garnett. In order to win a ring, he had to join up with 2 other players who both averaged over 25 points a game the previous years. Once he joined an elite team, gone were the days of 20 and 12. He averaged around 16 points and 8 rebounds for the Celtics. We're talking Chris Bosh from Toronto to Miami kind of stuff. Kevin Love from Minnesota to Cleveland. Great players when no one else is competing for those points and rebounds, but when they have talent around them, they're simply really good role players. Number 4, Scottie Pippen. Again, if you've been watching our videos, you know we agree with this one. Pippen's legend is no doubt due to the extra attention he got from playing with Jordan, and he was a great sidekick. Would Jordan have won without Pippen? Probably not, but let's put some perspective on that. LeBron didn't win without Bosh, but that doesn't make Bosh a top 10 player of all time. Duncan didn't win without Parker, but again, we don't over-glorify Parker for that. Bert had McHale, but we don't count them as equals. The point is that while the sidekicks were helpful, we keep them in their place as important role players and highlight what the true leader of the team did. It should be the same with Pippen. Now, if you want numbers to back this up, watch the full video where we show why we think Pippen is overrated. There should be a link in the video somewhere, probably one of those annoying pop-ups that everyone closes. Number 3, Derrick Rose. First off, we're not going to talk about the injuries. While it does cause problems, it's not Rose's fault, so we won't bring that up. The problem with Rose is that he's a one-dimensional player in more ways than one. He's not a great passer or floor general. He's an okay defender and rebounder. His forte is scoring. The problem is that even in his one area of expertise, he's limited since he's not a great jump shooter. He relies heavily on athleticism and driving to the basket. His MVP year, he was amazing, but we haven't seen that same level of play from him since that year. He's played 66 games since then and has averaged around 15 points and 5 assists on 37% shooting. Can he be the player he was his MVP season, which was 4 years ago, by the way? It's possible, but unlikely. Chances are, it's time to stop talking about Derrick Rose as an MVP-type player. Number 2, Kobe Bryant. Kobe is a top 10 player, but there are those who say he's the greatest player of all time, or maybe second only to Jordan. He's great, but not that great. We ranked Kobe at number 10 on our list of the greatest players of all time, so you can get an idea of how we feel about him. Here's the thing, if you look at stuff like win shares, PER, points per game, offensive rating, etc., which we do because we like numbers, Kobe ranks in the top 20 in just about everything. But he's top 10 in just a few of those categories, whereas guys like Wilt, Kareem, Shaq, Magic, and so on are top 10 in several categories. So Kobe has 5 championships, which helps his cause, but statistically, he just doesn't stack up to those we rank above him. Number 1, Michael Jordan. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, we got nothing for this one. I mean, there's pretty much no way we could make an argument for Michael Jordan being overrated and then sleep soundly tonight. People say it was the media hype or that he was surrounded by great players, that's why we all think he was the greatest of all time. Well, maybe he got so much media hype because he was so good. I mean, it's not like he played for the Lakers or Knicks. Did he have a great team? Well, yeah, that's why they won. Duh. You don't play 1-on-5. Now, it's true that Jordan wasn't perfect. He wasn't a great three-point shooter and averaged a pretty high amount of turnovers for several seasons. We'll give you that. But he's still the greatest player of all time, even with his flaws. There you go. Those are the fan results. So what do you think of the list? Let us know in the comments or on Twitter, Facebook, or Tumblr. And don't forget to thumbs up this video and do all the stuff that makes us popular, because we really need friends. And I mean, come on, we make NBA mixes in our free time. Clearly, we need some socializing, but you know, make us feel like you're our friends, because that's what we really need. That's what we all need, right? Friends. Okay. Subscribe.